Hello there. Good to see you. Thanks for watching. I was in three news story. Firstly, U.S. announced support for Ethiopian government's decisions made public last night when the government took very important decisions. First time in decades, Ethiopian government has taken these economic decisions. Secondly, how much is Ethiopia going to get from the IMF and World Bank? Details being shared. And thirdly, an unfortunate incident which happened in the Amhara region. 19 people died in a boat capsizing incident. Let's start the program with this first story, which is about a boat capsizing incident. It happened yesterday in the Amhara region. A boat carrying passengers sank in the Amhara region. It was on its way from Voghimra zone. In Voghimra, there is Sihala Simont. From Sihala Simont, it's going to Zikwala, but it just sank. The boat capsized. 19 people lost their lives in this unfortunate incident. Two dead bodies recovered. Operation ongoing. By the way, yesterday in Sidama, a landslide happened. Six people died in this incident. These days, we are seeing incidents in which people are dying. Uh, some are related to climate change. Some incidents like landslides do happen, which are linked to heavy rains in some areas. Last week, we saw that in Gofa zone, southern Ethiopia, hundreds of people lost their lives in a tragic landslide. More than 250 dead bodies had been recovered uh, till yesterday, and rescue operation was still ongoing. So three main incidents in the last few days: landslide in Gofa, landslide in Sidama, and boat capsizing in the Amhara region. Condolences to the families of those who have lost their lives in these incidents. Secondly, viewers, the US Embassy in Addis Ababa released a statement today. Why was the need for the release of this statement? What is the US Embassy saying? Arvind Masinga is US ambassador to Ethiopia, and the man keeps himself busy when it comes to monitoring Ethiopian internal situation, whether it's political, security, religious. He's very active. He's quick to speak. He's quick to issue statements. The new statement by the US Embassy is about uh, foreign exchange rate change. We saw that last night, Ethiopia announced macroeconomic reforms. Now, the government won't fix exchange rate. The currency exchange rate will be determined by market. Market forces will determine the exchange rate, and that is why we saw that today Birr lost 30% of its value. It was selling at around 58 in official market. Now its official rate is around 76, I think. It has lost 30% of its value in just 24 hours. Market determines the price of Burr now, and market Burr already had lost value because in black market Burr was selling at around 117 Burr per dollar. So it's a very difficult decision for the government, difficult for people to, because they'll face the consequences. You'll see that prices will rise, and people will find it difficult to make both ends meet. US is backing Ethiopian government on this issue. US embassy says that market-based foreign exchange system is a difficult but necessary uh, decision which has been made by Ethiopian government. It will address macroeconomic distortions. The embassy says we urge the government that it should work in coordination with development partners to support uh, to implement this decision so that the country could see a free and robust economy. US has been US backed institutions have been calling for change in terms of how exchange rate is decided. They wanted birr to be devalued, we can say simply. And that is what happened. And that is why US is backing Ethiopian government on this issue. But by the way, state media last night reported as if Ethiopia had achieved something. They were celebrating. But ask those whose money have been devalued 30% just 24 hours. And consequences will just arise in coming days. People will face difficulties definitely, and government will have to support people. Government will have to tell people that there'll be no more devaluation, while people buy more dollars. And by the way, if you get verified information about rate of birr in black market, do contact me. We want to see how this exchange rate change is going to affect the black market. Well, in black market, demand of dollar will rise and its selling price will rise over 120, or will it come down? That we want to monitor. We're working on it, but if you get any verified information, do contact me through email sajid67200gmail.com. You can write in comment section as well. So US is backing PM Abiy in implementing the macroeconomic reforms. People are criticizing. Mixed reaction, by the way. Some economists are saying that hard times ahead for Ethiopian people. Uh, in the end, who is to blame, by the way? Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government mismanaged its economy. It could not handle the economic challenges. Its priorities were not right. It could not resolve conflicts. It could not foster and develop long-term strategic economic partnership with countries. Who is to blame? The government. Who is the leader? Ethiopian PMR. Lastly, viewers, how much will Ethiopia get from the IMF in terms of bailout package? Now it's almost confirmed that the government is going to get a bailout package because the main obstacle has been crossed by the government. The main obstacle was devaluation of birr, which has happened now. Though we don't know if it will be devalued more or not, but were devalued by 30%. What is next now? Because today we know that IMF executive board is due to meet with the open government. I'm due to hold talks today. Yes, a bailout package is on the cards for Ethiopia. $10.5 billion will be given to Ethiopia. Immediately, 2.9 billion US dollars will be deposited to Ethiopian national bank accounts. Immediately, gradually, the country will receive 10.5 billion US dollars. Government's power of spending, it's definitely will increase. The spending must be uh, right. Government will have to change its priorities. It will have to move towards conflict resolution. It will have to work on increasing exports, building infrastructure which is not producing any exports is not effective in the long run. Yes, Addis Ababa should have a face as well to be shown to the international community. But maybe if the money being spent on roads and parks in Addis Ababa is spent on building factories and creating jobs and increasing exports, Ethiopia will swiftly come out of this economic pressure. I think now you'll see relative easy uh, decision making by the government in the next 2 years when it comes to decisions about economy, because they'll have money. But after 2 years, you'll see another crunch. Government will have to make preparations from today about the next crunch, which will happen after 2 years. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching.